Title blocks are time consuming, they're tedious, and above all else, they're dull. But unfortunately for drafters, they're what you could call a necessary evil, an unavoidable aspect of drafting. Your 2D CAD drawings still form the basis of your contractual submissions, and they're really crucial for litigation. Do you guys hate updating CAD title blocks? If you do hate them, type yes in the questions panel on the top right hand side of the screen. Don't worry, your answers will only be visible to the presenters. Welcome everyone to today's Industry Solutions webinar, how to spend up to 98% less time updating CAD title blocks. Great, looks like we're getting lots of yeses coming through. That's really good to see. So my name is Shane Machon and I will be presenting today's session alongside James Irwin from 12D New Zealand. So in this session we'll be tackling the drafter's dilemma, title block data management. We'll be showing you new technologies and processes to manage them easier, more accurately and much faster. But before we jump into it, let's just go through some really brief housekeeping. So you can ask questions along the way, as shown on the screen. If we run out of time and can't answer your question, don't worry. We'll make sure we get back to you straight after the webinar. And if you miss anything along the way, don't panic. I'll be sending out a recording of this session after the webinar so you guys can get back up to speed with whatever you missed. Great, with that out of the way, let's dive right into it. So today we'll start by discussing the challenges of manually updating title blocks. You'll then learn how to update title blocks faster and easier with Lisp routines. We'll then take a look at server-side updating. We'll take this one step further, showing you an even faster tool. And then I'll end by handing it over to James and he'll showcase these features for you. So to get a better idea of this drafter's dilemma that we're talking about, I want you all to picture this. It's late Friday afternoon at your office. You're nearing the end of what's been a really stressful week for yourself. You have a major project due on Monday. The final changes have been made. Your team have absolutely nailed it. All the project's 100 sheets have been drafted and are ready for issuing to the client. Everything's in order. All that's left for you guys to do is to update the client issue block on all 100 sheets so that you can issue it out. The problem is that it's Friday and you desperately want to be out of the office by 5. You know, who wouldn't? So what are your options here? Well, firstly, you can update the title blocks manually, and this is what many firms still do today, especially amongst the smaller companies. So what the workflow looks like for this is first you open the DWG, you wait for it to load, you change the title blocks, you save it, you close it, and then you got to repeat this 100 times or forever how many sheets you have. We estimate this will take at least 1.5 minutes to update each drawing if you're going to do it manually, and that's if you stay on task and don't make any mistakes. So altogether you'll need at least 2.5 hours to update all 100 drawings. Now your situation's looking pretty grim. You can either stay back tonight, miss out on your Friday and finish it off, or you can come in over the weekend. Yeah, neither is sounding pretty pleasant right now. Not only is this workflow slow and laborious, it's error prone. Mistakes are inevitable when you do things manually. You know, spelling errors can occur or drawings may be skipped. Soon you end up with 2 issue Cs and an outdated drawing can get sent to the client. So really this workflow is a slow disaster. Manually updating title blocks also reduces your ability to hit deadlines. Often the project deadline needs to get pushed forwards a day or two to give everyone enough time to edit and finalize title blocks. But if you're operating on a pretty tight and demanding design deadline, then you really can't afford to be missing a day or two, and that can be the difference between making or breaking your deadlines. So clearly the manual workflow isn't the answer, and that's why many of you guys are here today. Alright, I'm going to talk about Lisp routines now, but before I do, I'm just going to ask you a couple questions just so I can gauge what problems you're facing and what you want to get out of this session. So to start, how are you currently updating your title blocks? Are you doing it manually or are you already using Lisp routines? So feel free just to comment the method that you're using in the question window. I'll give you guys a couple seconds to answer that. Alright, also, what challenges are you facing managing your title blocks? And lastly, what are you hoping to get out of this webinar? What motivated you to register and attend today? Alright, now we'll get on to Lisp routines. So another option for our draft in our story is to automate the workflow by running a Lisp routine from an Excel drawing register. So how this works is first the drafter will make a change to the client issue attribute in his drawing register spreadsheet. Now this is so much easier than doing it manually because now you have copy and paste, drag and drop. So what he'll do is all he has to do is edit that one cell and then you can drag it onto all others and that's it, you mass update it. It's also a lot more accurate because now you're only changing one cell rather than all the title blocks. So there's a lot less likelihood for error. And if an error does occur, it's a lot easier to see and then to change because all your title blocks are visualized on your screen in one single spreadsheet. So once you save that drawing register, that will trigger your script routine, which will then in turn trigger your Lisp routine. And now what this Lisp routine will do is first it will open a DWG. It will save that DWG. Now once that DWG is saved, that will run the save command, and this is what actually updates your title block. Next it will close the DWG, and then once again you got to repeat for all 100 times. Now this is way simpler now than compared to manual because it's all automated. Our drafters is saved from now having to go through and open and close every single DWG. Instead, a script will do it all for you. However, a major limitation of the Lisp routine is that they must open and save each drawing to perform the update. And this is time consuming. So roughly, Lisp routines will take you about 15 seconds per drawing to open and make the change. However, this can be easily upwards of a minute per drawing, depending on the drawing size, the number and size of XREFs, your network speed, and the speed of your machine. So altogether, we will need at least 25 minutes to update all 100 drawings with a Lisp routine. Now, the challenges of this is, first, your computer is now out of action. So while the script runs, you can't be on your computer and make any changes. So it really just forces you to sit and wait while you watch DWGs open and close for the next half hour. Lisp routines also require an Excel wizard to set up and to also create your drawing register, and this can be pretty pricey. You will also need a network drive so that everyone has central access to the Lisp routine, all the drawings, and all the scripts. The problem with this is that, as we all know, network drives can be pretty slow and laggy when you're pushing CAD or geospatial data through it. And also, errors can occur if all your drawings aren't named correctly. So what will happen if a drawing is misnamed? The Lisp routine will skip it, and then you'll have to you're left in a really messy situation where you've got to work out what drawings have been updated and what haven't, and then you may need to rerun the script altogether. And as we all know, it's pretty darn difficult to get everyone following naming conventions every time. So in summary, Lisp routines are a huge leap forward compared to the manual method, but they still have some downsides. The good news, there's an even better way to updating your CAD title blocks. And that is server-side updating. So with this method, all the updating to your title blocks happens in the background, not on your computer. So you can work completely unrestricted while the updating occurs. Once again, you make that change to your title block, but now no Lisp routine or scripts are needed at all. It's already built into the software. That means no coding, no scripting, none of that BS. If you don't already have a drawing register set up, it's not a problem because 12D Synergy can automatically interrogate and populate your drawing register from the attributes already within your DWGs. So once again, it's a simple update of the cell in Excel. Drag and drop to mass update on all the other cells. Once you do that, you save and close, and then you click Update CAD Attributes in 12D Synergy. And that's it, done. All 100 sheets have been updated without opening any DWGs. So let's just compare these methods on a chart. So we're looking from manual, it's about 2.5 hours or 150 minutes. With Lisp routines, we're looking at about 25 minutes. Meanwhile, for 12D Synergy, each update takes less than 1.5 seconds. But because the updating is happening in the background, it almost feels instantaneous. Now with 12D Synergy, all 100 sheets have been updated in 2.5 minutes. That's a 98% reduction compared to the manual workflow. So we've saved our drafter 2.5 hours of some of the most incredibly mundane and tedious work that he will do in his life. It's also a 90% reduction compared to the Lisp routine, now that we don't have to open and close every single DWG. And that's a 22-minute saving. Suddenly, the poor drafter in our story is saved. They can quickly make the changes and be out of the office within the next couple minutes. But better, they will be confident that all the changes are completely accurate without any human error, and that no DWGs have been missed. But mass title block updates are needed throughout the drafting process. We're not just talking about once every project. So say for instance that this project averages about 10 mass title block updates. Soon our 100-sheet project now needs 1,000 sheets to be updated. Now this will take at least 30 hours to do manually, or just under 5 hours with a Lisp routine. But with 12D Synergy, it can all be done in just 30 minutes. That's saving you 29.5 hours compared to manual, and 4.5 hours compared to Lisp routines, and that's on the project alone. So 12D Synergy's Title Block Manager is a massive tool to help you to easily change any block attribute quickly, both in AutoCAD, BricsCAD, or Civil 3D, automatically and on dozens, hundreds, or thousands of drawings at a time. It allows you to achieve consistency across all your title blocks. You can easily manage all your title blocks within one central location. It's also hassle-free. No coding or scripting is needed. It's already built into the software. And you don't have to maintain a CSV file anymore. It's also much easier and faster than Lisp routines because you don't have to open any DWGs. All the updating occurs silently in the background. So 12D Synergy's Title Block Manager comes with 3 tools. First, we have the Drawing Register, and this allows you to continue managing your title blocks within an Excel drawing register. Now we understand that you guys have invested a lot of time building some pretty powerful and comprehensive drawing registers, and we wouldn't want that all to go to waste. So what you can do is you simply import your drawing register into 12D Synergy, but now you have all the added benefits of server-side updating, as well as no hassles of script. You also get the protection of our check-in, check-out environment and full audit trail, so you can easily roll back to a previous version of your drawing register if needed. Next, we have the Layout Editor. And now this tool is used to make quick changes to the title blocks in multiple sheets within each DWG. And for this, no Excel sheet is required. It's already built into the software. And the third tool is our bulk file attribute editor. Now this is similar to the layout editor, but it allows for the mass updating of your CAD attributes. So with this tool, you can quickly and easily manage all your sheets from inside an automatically generated Excel spreadsheet. So what 12D Synergy will do is you can point all your DWGs to it. 12D Synergy will then go ahead and interrogate those DWGs and pull out all your CAD attributes. It will then use these attributes to populate this register. Both the layout editor and bulk file attribute editor also supports bi-directional updating, so you can update your title block in 12D Synergy and push into CAD, or you can update the title block in CAD and push it back into 12D Synergy. So it's really flexible in the way that you work with it. Alright, I'll now pass it over to James, and he'll give you guys all a quick demo of 12D Synergy's Title Block Manager tools so that you guys can see it in action. Now, James will be demoing in BricsCAD, but the workflow is very similar to that in AutoCAD.
Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and open up my Synergy client. Now, I like to think of it a little bit like Windows Explorer on steroids for an AEC company. I'm just going to open up my presentation job, Emu Park, and you'll see in my Emu Park job I've got a fairly standard drawings folder here. Obviously I've got a couple of drawings, an admin folder with a couple of blocks, and some references as well. First method I'm going to show you is using a spreadsheet. So I'll come down to my admin folder, got a couple drawing registers in here. So I'm just going to go and check it out, open it up to go and make some changes to it. So as I mentioned in the PowerPoint, this method might be quite familiar to a lot of you, and chances are you can use an existing spreadsheet if you already have it. What we have is just the drawing name in the first column, the layout names in the second column, and then we've just got our different block attributes and obviously all your appropriate values for your different drawings. So say I want to go and add a title line 2 to my GA002. Let's just say Synergy testing. I can just type that in there. I can use all my standard Excel tools, so if I want to pull it down, copy, paste, whatever you like, that's all good. So I'll just save that, close it, and I'm going to go and check it in. Now, to push these changes to the drawings in the spreadsheet, all I need to do is right click on the spreadsheet and come down to my update CAD attributes tool. So I'll select that, and I'm going to go and select the folder where all the reference drawings are, which in this case is my drawings folder. So I select that. Now you'll see in here it's going through and it's looking for all the files mentioned in the Excel spreadsheet, and it's finding and updating them. So you'll see down here it's completed. So now if I go across to my drawings folder again, and I'm just going to open up that drawing we updated, open up view only. And you'll see down the bottom there that's gone and updated my title line 2 with the information that I put into the spreadsheet. And again, for those of you that have used this before, using a Lisp routine, generally it would require you to open up all the drawings in front of you, save them, check it out. But this happened all on the server side, so I didn't have to wait for anything. Just the next time I opened this drawing up, it was updated for me. Cool. So, moving on to the next method, which is one of the more inbuilt Synergy methods. We call this one the layout editor. So any drawing in Synergy that has a layout imported, you're going to see it in the layouts tab there. Obviously I haven't got anything imported yet, but to do that, all I need to do is right click, walk right on my CAD menu and say import layouts. Now I can do this for one drawing, but in this case I'm just going to grab all my drawings and just say import layouts. So it's interrogating all my different drawing files in here, looking for any CAD native block attributes, and just going and pulling them out for me. So you see now that that's done, my layouts tab's looking a bit more exciting. You'll see it's picked out one layout in this case. I've got all my block attributes across the top here and all my values in here. Now in this case that drawing only had one layout, but we do also support the use of multiple layouts. So you'll see this cross section here has 3 different layouts, and we've gone and picked out all of them. So At the moment I can't do anything in here because you need to check things out in Synergy to edit them, so if I want to go and do that, hey, I'll just check it out, and once I've done so, I'm going to be able to go and start typing down in my layouts tab. So let's say maybe I'm going to go and approve this, J. Irwin. So all I need to do is fill in the top line, and then I can go and pull this down to all my different layouts, and then the next time I go and open this drawing, you'll see it's just gone and updated that for me automatically. So save some poor draft person opening up the drawing manually, hey, layout 1, changing it, next layout. But additionally, I'm also going to show you our bulk attribute editor, which we can use to update the title box of many drawing files and many layouts at once. So close that down, check it in. Okay, so to use the bulk attribute editor, what we need to do is just go and select some of the drawings we want to update. So I'm just going to go and grab a whole bunch of them. Again, check them out. So this is going to enable me to edit these drawings, pulling them down if I need it. And instead of using the layouts tab down the bottom there, which is only going to allow me to edit one drawing at a time, I'm just going to come up here across to the edit layouts button, and this is going to open a whole new window for me. But you'll see here I have a bunch of different drawings, different layouts in here. So rather than just editing the single file at once, I can go and update a whole lot. So hey, again, maybe approved by me, drag it down. But also I'm going to go and increment some of the revisions here. You see my revisions are scattered between A and B. If I select the entire column, and I can just select increment, that's going to move any A's to B's, B's to C's, or 1 to 2, 2 to 3, whatever method you're using. So again, hey, really easy, just one central area to go and change all your title box, working straight out of the block with all your standard CAD block attributes, and a real time saver. So the final thing I'm going to show you is just the revision control with our drawing files. You'll notice as I'm editing them, hey, my version's going up. So this particular long section here, I've got 8 versions. So if I select the drawing and come up to the history button, this is showing me all my previous versions. So starting in version 1, what happened, when, who changed it, what they did, any metadata changes and things like that. So I can actually right click on any version and I can view, or I can roll back to that previous version. So let's say I want to roll back to version 5, but this has given me a couple of options in terms of what I want to do with my XREFs. So I could choose get current, which is going to keep all the current versions or most up-to-date versions of all the XREFs. I could say get reference versions, and that's actually going to roll back all the reference files to the same point in time that I'm rolling back this main drawing to. Or I can choose what versions I want of all my different XREFs. So in this case, I'm just going to get current, and that's going to pull back version 5 into my workspace. So then the next time I go and open up this drawing, I'm going to see what it was in version 5. And you'll see that reflected there in my version column. So version 8 is the latest, but I've rolled back to version 5. Cool. So that's my overview of the new CAD features you can expect to see in version 4. I hope you've liked them. If you do have any questions about anything I've gone over, please do just put it in the comments or email in, and we'll get back to you afterwards. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope to hear from you soon. Cheers.
Thanks for that, James. So taking care of your title block madness is just one of the many features of 12D Synergy. Now, I want to very briefly touch on some of the other benefits for CAD users. So firstly, you get faster CAD performance and faster data transfers. With 12D Synergy, you can work off your local drive. And now this is much faster than constantly pulling data down from your network drive. 12D Synergy also has what we call intelligent data transfers. And what this means is that you only ever transfer the changed files. So say for instance you download your drawing and all other XREFs. If you close that and then come in the next day, no data transfer is required. You can automatically just start working. So it really is a big time saver. Next, we have intuitive reference tracking, and what this is when 12D Synergy will intelligently recognize the links between your DWGs and other files. So say for instance a file is renamed or moved, that those references won't be broken. 12D Synergy also has a check-in, check-out environment, and this offers full version control. So this prevents the disaster of having two drafters working on the same drawing at the same time, or having you work on an outdated drawing. So yeah, so it ensures you're always working on the latest file. 12D Synergy also has a full order history and rollback. So whenever a change is made, 12D Synergy will log that, and you get the full history of changes. So then this allows you, say for instance, the client wishes you to roll back. You're on version 7, but they ask for you to roll back to version 4. Rather than having to go through the hassles of IT and uncover, lost backups and all that, what you can do is you simply just click a button and you can roll back to that file that you need. You also get enforced naming conventions and folder structures. So 12D Synergy you can set up some pretty comprehensive naming conventions in the system, and this ensures that every single file in the system is appropriately named. You can also lock your folder structures down. So this can prevent people from arbitrarily, creating new folders or duplicating at will. 12D Synergy also integrates with your sheet set manager and has its own plugin. Now we've run a little bit over time today, so we won't have any Q&A, but don't worry, we'll answer all your questions as soon as we can after the webinar. So the recording for this session will be in the follow-up email. So make sure you share that link around your office for anyone who was interested in this session but couldn't make it. So it's really, really great for them to get up to speed very quickly with what they've missed. How much time and money is your company wasting on CAD title blocks? Now this is a question I'm sure you've asked yourselves many times, but you don't really have the tools or the means to calculate it very easily. So that's why we've gone away and built an Excel calculator that can sort of estimate the time savings for you. Now this calculator is really simple and easy to use, and you can customize the results for your company's specific projects and workload. All you need is 4 numbers: the average number of sheets on your projects, the number of mass updates you do per project, the number of projects you do per year, and your company's hourly drafter charge out rate. If you'd like a copy of this calculator, simply type calculator into the questions panel, and we'll get a 12D Synergy expert to show you how it works, and they can help you walk you through it and get those numbers for you. And this is a really, really great tool that you need to show your CAD manager and other drafters, because they really need to know about these new time-saving tools. So make sure you download this calculator and share it with them. So today we really just cracked the surface of what 12D Synergy can do for you. If you'd like to learn more about all of 12D Synergy's other CAD management and document management features, feel free to book a personalized demo of 12D Synergy. So to book a demo, simply type demo as a question, as shown on the screen, and we'll get in touch to arrange it all for you. So all the CAD management features showcased by James and I today are included in 12D Synergy's Advanced Data Management module. And in this module, you'll also get all the features in both the email management and document management modules too. So it really is the full package for drafters. So that concludes our presentation for today. Thank you all for attending, and we hope that you start enjoying a smarter, faster way to update and manage your title blocks. Thank you.